Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Chounji Akuma, and today I want to talk about, finally, Esper changes. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over these changes as well as give you my opinion on why I like them or don't like them. So, starting off is in the very near future. Now, this is just for Soothe and Crush. Soothe seems to get stuck on your screen once you've used it, and Crush, its FX and animation isn't playing properly. We've always been having issues with Crush in general, so if these get fixed, cool. If they don't, it's not a big deal. However, the stuff that I'm really looking forward to is the in the not so distant future stuff. So let's start off with Spectral Form. This is our innate as Espers, and what it does is once you cast it, it roots you in place as well as gives you Hefty Absorb and gives you psi points. Now this is a great innate in the sense that it helps you do more DPS, but the worst part about it is you get rooted. This has killed me more times than I'd like to admit, especially when I first start out. Now the reason this is such a huge change is because everyone else's innates, such as warriors and spellslingers, are terrifying. Once a warrior pops his innate, you want to run away. When an engineer pops his innate, you want to run away. It's the same thing with spellslinger. Now, I think this is going to be helpful. I think it's a step in the right direction. I'm not sure exactly if it's going to be as good as it sounds, but it will definitely help us survive as well as do more DPS while on the move. So I'm pretty much looking forward to that change. Next up is Telekinetic Strike. Now, what it says here is this will become castable while moving. That's amazing. If I'm actually be able to cast my biggest hitting builder while I'm moving, this is going to help so much you can't even believe it. In PvP, when I see people using Telekinetic Strike, it's a free kill for me. I don't think I've ever lost anyone using Telekinetic Strike in PvP, and so this is hopefully going to help us out a lot, help us do more damage, help us be more on par with some other classes. Now, its tier 8 will now only require 3 psi charge stacks down from 6. This is nice, so instead of casting your Telekinetic Strike 6 times to get the extra psi point, you're only going to have to cast it 3. I think that's definitely going to help us throw out a lot more birds, which is something I've been complaining about for a while. It feels like we don't build psi points fast enough, and our output of damage is too slow when compared to, obviously, Warrior, Spellslinger, Engineer, etc. So that's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully, that'll be one of those skill shot things. So it'll be like casting Charge Shot all the time instead of Psychic Frenzy, which is a melee cone hitty, right? Alright, so up next is Concentrated Blades. Now, currently Concentrated Blades, once you've cast it at tier 1, you're not tier 4 yet, it recharges 2 of the charges every 20 seconds, which is forever. Now, with this update, it's going to change that delay down to 3 seconds, first of all, to be cast. So instead of 4.4 seconds, once you cast it, it's going to be 3 seconds for it to actually hit the target, as well as the tier 4 bonus is going to be changed to refund 2 charges per 10 seconds. So that's basically increasing its usefulness double. So I'm going to be able to use 2 charges every 10 seconds instead of every 20 seconds. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to help us with also getting our psi points up and being able to throw a lot more birds downrange. So that's fantastic. Hopefully it's as good as it looks on paper. Now, Blade Dance. I don't really use Blade Dance too frequently because it's not really that viable in most situations. There are some minor situations where people might use it, but for the most part, it's not very good. And all they're doing is reducing it down to 2 seconds, down from 3 seconds the channel time. So that's cool. That's a step in the right direction. Hopefully people will find a use of it. I probably still won't use it after they change it, but hey, at least they're trying, right? Alright, up next, and one of the final ones is Psychic Frenzy. This is our second builder, and is pretty much not that great. It's terrible. Even in the situations where you have to use it, such as Storm Talon, well, you don't have to, but it's useful to use it such as Storm Talon because it's so movement-based, this skill doesn't really shine too much. Your DPS is still going to be pretty terrible, and it just doesn't do what it should do. What they're doing is the initial global cooldown will be reduced to 0.75 seconds, down from 1.25. This should help with the clunkiness of the skill, because currently it feels so clunky. You're just like, 1, 2, 3, wait a half a second, 1 second, there we go. It's pretty clunky. I use it because you kind of have to in some situations, and especially in a PvP situation. If I'm not using Psychic Frenzy, I'm using Telekinetic Strike, I'm gonna die. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully it'll get us a little faster DPS, but we'll have to see. Now, the tier bonus is the same thing as the Telekinetic Strike. They're just reducing it to 3 stacks instead of 6, so it should help with it using, being able to get more psi points quicker. But at the same time, I don't even really get tier 8 of Psychic Frenzy anyways, just because it was pretty terrible at the time. I'll have to test it. Hopefully that will help, but it really needs something more. I don't think this change is really going to increase its value, especially now that Telekinetic Strike is you're going to be able to cast it while moving. So I'm probably going to use Telekinetic Strike from now on anyways because of the whole movement thing, but we'll see. We'll test it. So overall, the changes are definitely in the right direction. I don't think they're complete yet. For the most part, the biggest changes here obviously are Telekinetic Strike and Spectral Form. The other ones are really nice to have. They're not super necessary, but it's going to be super nice to just see where we go from here. This is going to be really helpful. I know a lot of people want us to be stationary, but they did say in the future they're going to give us amps, hopefully, that will reward us for being stationary. So if you like the stationary style, you're still going to like it in the future. So just keep an eye out for that. And there's some other stuff on the bottom where what things we should expect, such as the ones as above. And like I said, it's just going to be stuff where it'll better our amps and some of our ability tiers. So we'll have to keep a lookout for that. Overall, good changes. I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully this will help us become a lot more viable in more situations than we currently are. So that's all I have for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, why, and we'll discuss it. I like talking with you guys, and hopefully we'll get somewhere. As always, guys, I'll see you next time.